Whether your child is having trouble reading, taking tests, or learning a subject, the folks at Learning RX can help train their brain and show them tools and techniques to succeed. Here today are Kristen Thompson, Executive Director of Learning RX Kennesaw, Beth Ardell, Executive Director of Learning RX Atlanta and Alpharetta, and Learning RX graduate Caitlin Harrell. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Now, for those people who don't know anything about Learning RX, it's not tutoring. We need to explain the difference, so tell them.
Right. Most people, when they hear the name Learning RX, they automatically think that it's tutoring, but we are not teaching or reteaching academic information. Instead, we're strengthening the underlying brain skills that everyone needs to learn that academic information in the first place. And no matter what curriculum you're in, what school you're in, what age you are, or even where your cognitive skills start, even if you have a brain injury, you can strengthen these skills, and it's just so much easier to read, comprehend, remember, and process information.
I want to go. Well, and ironically, I took Caroline because when I heard that you guys saw kindergartners, we went there Saturday. There's Caroline looking down because they gave her a pencil with the eraser that was shaped like a brain, so she was fascinated. But I'm so excited because Caroline is a young kindergartner. August 26th is her birthday. Went to the meeting with the teacher, and she said she's got some attention problems. Might just be she's immature. So I thought, let me take her in, get her assessed, and I find out next Monday what all happened during that 30 minutes of testing. Kate and I were dying. But by the way, it's such a wonderful environment. And really, like, she was in there getting testing. Kate was playing with toys. So it's really awesome. And Caitlin, I want to hear your experience as well. How did you learn about it, or your parents learn about it, and what happened?
Well, we have some friends at church, and they told us about it a couple years ago. So we were like, maybe we should go and do it, and it really helps.
What areas were you feeling like you were maybe struggling a little bit?
Math, definitely math.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, me too. Yeah. Math was always a little tough for me. And so what do you feel like you have learned now that you've finished? They talk about, that they just kind of retrain your brain. So how does that feel? Kind of describe that.
Well, I'm not the one being called out in class if I'm not paying attention. Like, they would be like, Caitlin, you're not paying attention, but now I'm not being called out anymore.
Excellent.
Nice.
And your mom shared some thoughts with us too. And so I want to read some of those of what she was just saying about how it's increased your skills. It helped Caitlin in becoming more confident in her math skills, increased the speed of calculations, but most importantly, it helped her recognize when she wasn't focusing. Now she has the skills to recognize and refocus herself, and that is your mom, Catherine's big endorsement of Learning RX. And isn't that the truth? Just being able to recognize, okay, guys, let's go back, let's focus. That's part of our problem in everyday life. If we could do that, whatever task is at hand, that's incredible. And you guys are going to show us some training techniques, so I love it. Show and tell.
This procedure, we call this attention arrows. When we talk about skills, Caitlin talked about her math skills and her attention skills and refocusing. They're truly skills. They're things that you can get stronger. If they're weak, they need to be stronger. We use our attention skills every day at school. She has to be able to pay attention whenever her teacher is talking. She has to pay attention whenever she's doing classwork and whenever there are distractions happening, right, in the classroom. Even at home, homework, if the TV's on and you can't focus on your homework, that's a problem.
Sure.
So we want to build those specific skills. So this procedure we call attention arrows, and I'm actually going to turn the metronome on here to keep Caitlin on track. The metronome helps build processing speed. So if y'all at home want to follow along, we're going to look at the first two rows of arrows. And Caitlin, I want you to read the direction that the arrows are turned.
Okay.
And then I'm going to give you a couple numbers, and I want you to tell me the sum of those two numbers when you get to the end of the row.
Okay.
Ready, go.
Left, up,
2,
right, left, left,
3,
up, left, right, right, left, down,
2,
down, right, left, up,
3,
left, 5.
Good girl. That's awesome.
What was that? What just happened? I don't know if it's my cold medicine,
Right.
but wow, that's incredible.
And you can start low. We start with our 5-year-olds, and we're not going to go that
Why
fast.
are you looking at me when you say 5-year-old?
No.
Right.
But when we can do this procedure and we build those skills to become automatic, we need her to be able to pay attention,
Yes.
not when she has to think about it all the time, that just
Right.
becomes automatic. She can automatically say, I need to tune back in. And it's because she's gone through an intensive training program to make that skill very strong. And it's going to carry with her for forever. She doesn't have to do this every year.
I love it. And you know, when I was sitting in the waiting room, I saw our Karen Greer. Her son went through the program. I was like, oh, there's Karen. So many parents wrote in about how this has significantly changed their child's life. The results are incredible. And I think you have a graph to show us, just to really, the proof is in the pudding, to show us what you're talking about.
We do. This is a chart of percentile improvements, and we looked at 2,900 students who had moderate cognitive weakness, which means that they tested between the 25th and the 50th percentile. So if you just look at in the bottom left processing speed, one skill, what that says is the average was the 37th percentile. So if I was in a row of 100 people, I would be number 37. I tested better than 36 people behind me, but the rest of the people tested better than me.
Wow.
And by the end of training, that average went up to the 70th percentile. So now only 29 people tested better than me.
Fantastic.
And the rest tested, you know, behind me. And processing speed has to do with attention, which is what one of the things we were working on with Caitlin. And Caitlin didn't mention it, but she now is able to she's come off her medication that she was on for attention, and said she
Wow,
feels
that's
better than ever with how
huge.
she can process her information and perform her math.
And it gives you such confidence, right?
It does.
And not just in math, but I imagine just with all your classes in general.
Definitely.
I love that. And you have a really special offer for Atlanta and Company viewers. If your child is going through anything where you're just concerned about them really getting ahead in the classroom, please take advantage. I did. It's a great experience. And like I said, I can't wait till next Monday to find out what happened or what's going on with Caroline. But these are the specials. So go ahead and tell us more.
Okay, for the first 50 callers, the test that we're using, which is a third-party test, it's considered the gold standard for cognitive testing. It's going to be $99, and normally we charge $249. So like you said, if you have any inkling or suspicion that your child is just not performing up to his or her potential, or yourself, get an idea of the strengths and weaknesses in your child's brain, and then we can make a plan to fix them as well.
I love that. $99. Yeah, the teacher says, Caroline doesn't focus very well and she talks too much. I was like, oh. I was like, that's interesting. I wonder where she got that from. But hopefully you'll be able to go a little more in depth with that assessment. Thank you for being here. Caitlin, congratulations. That's awesome. If you want to take advantage of that special or to learn more, call 404-25-BRAIN. 404-252-7246. Log on to the website as well. It's learningrx.com/Greater Atlanta.